Hello and welcome to the Candid Cash Flow Podcast, episode 31. I'm your host, Ava Fales. The internet is a powerful tool. I'm in the generation who remembers life before the internet. I'm so thankful that my whole childhood didn't revolve around technology, but I have to admit I've been sold from the start on this thing called the internet. It's my drug, and I'm a complete junkie. As a content creator, I want to make high-quality material for my readers, listeners, and followers. It's a daunting task at times. Producing my podcast takes a lot of time and involves a ton of steps. Naturally, part of my job and desire is to stretch the reach of my content as far as possible. I want each content idea to generate multiple pieces of content. Actually, podcasting or video is the best way to end up with tons of content from one idea. However, even if you're a blogger, you can still turn those blog posts into social media content. A robust content marketing strategy is going to include implementing unique content marketing ideas, upgrading old content, and turning your ideas for repurposing content into reality. If you want to take your content to the next level, you've landed in the right place, so stay tuned. This episode is sponsored by TubeBuddy. Take your YouTube channel to the moon through higher video rankings. Use TubeBuddy to optimize your videos and blow the competition out of the water. Find out more and get started today at tubebuddy.com/candidcashflow. All right, cash flowers. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about this episode. I've heard the term content marketing thrown around a lot, and I sort of knew what it was, but not really. To me, it was just a term that meant to share your content everywhere, but it's so much more than that. Content marketing is actually a strategy for promoting your content, as in having a general plan in place with steps that you follow each time you create a new piece or revive old content. So why would you want to revive old content? Well, the benefits are numerous, but before we get to the list, most of us create content so that we can monetize it, right? Sure, we want to help people and share our knowledge first and foremost, but if we can make a little cash on the back end, then that's a win-win. Each piece of content that you have created is an asset. Each asset is a passive income stream, or it should be. The best case scenario is to create content that is evergreen in nature. If you're unfamiliar with the term evergreen content, this is content that is relevant over a long period of time. This is the best kind of content to create because it can continue to generate passive income for years to come. If you want to know more about passive income, check out episode 4 and episode 5 of the Candid Cash Flow podcast. In episode 4, we shared 18 opportunities to create passive income. In episode 5, we talked specifically about self-publishing as a passive income stream. Be sure to grab the show notes to get all the links and goodies at heyoava.com/episode 31. I'll be including a detailed content marketing plan you can't get from the blog, so don't miss it. I'm going to share with you 7 reasons why repurposing your content and reviving old content should be part of your ongoing content marketing plan. 1. It allows you to reach a new audience. When I began this podcast, I was able to expand my online presence to many audio-centric websites that I would never have otherwise been a part of, like iTunes, iHeartRadio, and even Spotify, just to name a few. 2. You can upgrade and revive old content. It's important to keep track of the content you've created and to have some kind of analytics in place so you know how each piece is performing. This allows you the insight to deliver what your audience is hungry for and to revive old content that may not be performing as well as you'd like. 3. You can maximize the effort you are putting into creating content. No one wants to spend hours creating a piece of content just for it to fall flat when you publish it. Implementing a content marketing plan will give your content a longer life. 4. It creates additional income streams. Who wouldn't want that? I don't know anyone who says no to their content creating income. 5. It generates better SEO and backlinks. SEO is the heartbeat of your organic traffic. Organic traffic is any traffic you didn't pay for through an ad service of some kind. The more organic traffic you generate, the better your profit margins will be. 6. You have a better chance of being seen. This is just logic. The more places you put your content, the higher the chance of you catching those small pockets of your target audience that are everywhere. 7. You build authority and credibility for you and your brand. This one is huge because without credibility, no one will buy your products and services, whether they are yours or ones you are promoting from others. So is that enough why for you? I hope so. When you think about the content you're creating, do you kind of have in mind who it's for? I know I do, and I also have an idea how I want it to help my audience. All of that is taken to an exponential level, though, when I look at these 7 reasons why. Do you have any to add to the list? Drop me a comment and I'll add them to this article. Now that we know why, how in the heck do we get this off the ground? I've got a list that I've created here of more than 20 ways to revive old content and repurpose it to go back to work for you. As a general rule, when I research for my podcast episodes, I read several articles, so you get an overview of what's out there on this topic already. Then I add my own ideas as well, most of which I have been using in practice for quite a while. The end result is the most robust list I can possibly offer. It will contain common ideas and ideas that I haven't ever shared before, so buckle up, grab a drink, cash flowers, because here it comes. Number 1, turn old blog posts into guides. If you have several blog posts on the same topic, this is even more applicable. People love free information. It's what the internet is all about. They don't call this the information age for nothing. You may very well have content that you can assemble into a guide. You can either make this a new long-form blog post, format it into a PDF as a free download, or better yet, both. That is a great way to revive old content. 2. Upload your PowerPoints to SlideShare. Do you create PowerPoint slideshows for your business as a video or webinar content? You can upload those to SlideShare. SlideShare is an online slideshow sharing site owned by LinkedIn. You should do this especially if your business is B2B or business to business. You can get some decent traffic this way as well. 3. Conduct interviews. Interviews make a powerful content generator strategy. The general goal behind conducting interviews is for your interviewee to share the content you create with their audience in addition to you sharing it with yours. It's a great way to kind of exchange links with your audiences while providing new information from an additional viewpoint. 4. Use your Quora answers to create a more detailed blog post on a topic. First off, are you using Quora? If you have knowledge in any area under the sun, you should be sharing it on Quora. I have nearly 20,000 views on my answers, with just 1,300 of those being in the last month. I was also recently invited to their partner program where I can get paid for offering detailed answers to featured questions. You can pull ideas for more detailed content from your Quora answers, then leave a link in your answer pointing back to your blog post. 5. Make the main ideas of your content into tweets. This can easily be from 5 to 10 tweets depending upon the length of your content. My blog posts usually exceed 1,200 words, so I can easily create a ton of tweets for each one. You can then schedule these however you'd like over time. If you track your tweets in a spreadsheet, you can reuse them later on to revive old content. 6. Turn your blog posts into a newsletter. One of the common questions people have about newsletters or their email list is what they should send out. You can start with your blog posts. You can either have your email marketing platform, I use MailChimp, send out your blog posts automatically, or you can create a periodic newsletter with an excerpt and a link to your most recent posts. This opens up a whole world of opportunities that we'll talk about in a future episode of the Candid Cash Flow podcast. 7. Turn your blog posts into podcasts or vice versa. As many of you probably know, each episode of the Candid Cash Flow podcast has a corresponding blog post to accompany it. In fact, I write each episode on my blog as a sort of script, otherwise I would you all to death. You can easily turn your blogs into podcast episodes by just reading them. Turning audio into text is a little more difficult if you don't work from a script, but it's still doable. You can do it yourself or hire a virtual assistant to transcribe your content for you. Services like Rev.com only charge $1 per audio minute, so for example, if your audio is 20 minutes long, it will cost you $20 to have it transcribed. 8. Upgrade your old content. Do you have older content where you've learned new stuff since you created it? I bet you do. This is a great reason and opportunity for upgrading old content. Add in the new ideas and resources and add updated or updated for 2018 to the title. Add the updated content into your queue to promote it via social media. This is also a great time to consider turning it into a podcast, video, or guide. 9. Turn your YouTube videos into podcasts or vice versa. If your main avenue for content creation is video, there is so much you can do with that medium. Like blog posts, you can easily turn your videos into podcasts. There are many tools available to download the audio directly from YouTube. You can also download the MP4 directly from your YouTube dashboard and convert it yourself. If you use SoundCloud as your podcast host, you can upload the MP4 directly and they will convert it for you. 10. Turn useful information into an autoresponder series for your email list subscribers. Again, if you are wondering what to send your email list, you can always repurpose useful blog content into an email series sent to them over a period of time. As new subscribers jump on, they will receive the emails as part of your campaign as well. Anytime you can send great content to your list, do it. That's why they subscribed. 11. Turn blog post or an article series into an ebook. This is one of my personal favorites. Since I'm a self-publisher, it's quite easy for me to compile an ebook I can then sell on Kindle and paperback or on many other book-selling platforms. This allows me to reach a new audience, expand my reach, and create an additional passive income stream from the same content. 12. Turn your blog posts into PDFs. We are a world on the move. As such, you want to make your content as portable as possible. That way, your audience can consume it wherever and whenever is most convenient for them. Not to mention, you are providing an asset they can download on their own device, which will remind them to come back and visit you again. A podcast provides the perfect opportunity to create a PDF of downloadable information. That way, if a listener heard something they want to remember, they can grab the show notes for the links. 13. Expand to new platforms. The best example for this is Medium.com. Medium is a blogging platform from the creators of Twitter. It's hugely popular and has options to get paid for your writing, in addition to a whole bunch of other great stuff I won't cover in this episode. The most important thing to know is that you can import your blog posts to Medium without having to worry about duplicate content penalties from Google. That's because Medium will create a canonical link back to your blog, which tells Google to index your post from your original blog ahead of your Medium post. There's a whole new audience of readers waiting for you on Medium. Another honorable mention here is Steemit. Steemit is a blogging platform that pays you for your content in a cryptocurrency called Steem. There are many other apps built on the Steem blockchain, including a video sharing site and an audio sharing site. Get more information on these and Steemit from episode 7 of the Candid Cash Flow podcast. 14. Turn top performing content into infographics. You will either need to be graphically inclined or have a means to hire a designer with this option. But infographics get crazy engagement and you may just find yourself being shared all over the place. If you want to play around, you can use canva.com. They have an infographic template with tons of drag and drop elements. You may just surprise yourself. 15. Make t-shirts from your tweets, book quotes, blog quotes, etc. We talked about where to sell t-shirts online in episode 16 of the Candid Cash Flow podcast. I believe there was a quick and dirty design guide included in that episode or the show notes. Either way, I'll be revisiting this very soon. Creating a text-based t-shirt is super easy and there are a few good print-on-demand places to sell them online. In fact, text-based shirts actually sell better than graphic shirts, believe it or not. Shirts are a great way to wear your brand and earn a little extra income from your efforts. 16. Make mobile wallpapers out of your visual content. This is one of my own ideas that I've put into practice recently. If you're creating graphics for social media, it's quite simple to turn those into mobile wallpapers. You can then offer these as a free download to add value to your website, courses, and more. People love free downloads. Be sure to include your brand in your graphic. You can then upload it to Zedge. Zedge is a ringtone and wallpaper app that is available to both Android and iPhone users. It has been downloaded more than 100 million times in the Google Play Store. You may recall that I mentioned it in my recent smartphone app episode a couple of weeks ago. 17. Create a simple but valuable checklist. Do you have content that involves a lot of steps? Perhaps you have a long tutorial or something like that. Create a checklist from the content that is a free download. You can then use it as a lead magnet to build your email list or upload it to document sites around the web to expand your reach. People love checklists. 18. Upload your mobile wallpapers as Pinterest graphics. Pinterest can generate a ton of traffic if you do it correctly. There are many courses available online about Pinterest. If you create mobile wallpapers, these are the perfect size and dimensions for pinning. I suggest creating a new board. 19. Turn your content into a course. A course can be a lucrative asset to your brand. I've seen courses double income many times. This is a great way to get paid for sharing your expert knowledge on a topic. It may surprise you how many people are willing to pay you for your expertise. Much like an ebook, you still have to market and promote a course, but the rewards can be fantastic and passive. 20. Live stream it. Recently, I did an episode on live streaming with Twitch. You can also live stream on YouTube or Facebook. Sure, there are other places, but I want to focus on ones where you can generate revenue. It doesn't matter what you do, I promise there is an audience. Twitch was originally created to stream video gameplay, but there have been a recent expansion of creatives streaming their artwork processes, crafts, and more. Be sure to check out episode 27 of the Candid Cash Flow podcast for more information about live streaming everything. 21. Create a toolkit. This is a great way to revive old content. Create a folder. It's best if it's somewhere where you can share it, like Google Drive, Dropbox, or OneDrive, something like that. Fill it with old lead magnets you're not using anymore, templates, graphics, checklists, link lists, and more. Anything and everything you think your audience might find helpful can be included. Brand it as a toolkit. For example, if I was going to do one for this show, I might call mine the Candid Cash Flow Toolkit. Now, share it, link it on your website, send it to your list, and promote it. Whew, holy cow, cash flowers. This is the longest post I've written to date, probably the longest episode of the Candid Cash Flow podcast. I've quickly approaching 3,000 words and will most likely exceed that. One day I'll be able to use this to revive old content. I hope you find this super helpful in your content marketing plan. That's it for this episode of the Candid Cash Flow podcast. Thanks for being here. It's always a pleasure to know you're listening. If you enjoyed this episode, I hope you will consider subscribing. You can do so in your favorite app at heyoava.com/candidcashflow. Don't forget to grab a copy of the show notes. I'll be including a detailed content marketing plan that isn't available here or in the corresponding blog post. So get your copy at heyoava.com/episode 31. If you're interested in past episodes of the Candid Cash Flow podcast, the archives are available at heyoava.com/candidarchives. Remember, I release a new episode each Wednesday. Until next time, turning your passion into cash flow.